There we go.
What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Wrestling with Tomorrow. I am your host, Mike Kinney, and with me today,
You all know me, the guy with the longest, beefiest, girthiest handle on Instagram. Your co-host, Randy Herrig. Hope you're doing well tonight.
well, I am doing well. I'm glad we could make this one happen. October is flying by, and we have a lot to talk about. What we should start talking about, though, right out of the gate, really, is how you doing, Randy? What's new with you?
Just work, man. Work and collecting, and I got nothing to bitch about. Nobody's sick at my house. Everything's all good. I'm in the boat like everybody else. Everybody could use a few more bucks, but hey, what you're gonna do is it's gonna have to take a big turnaround with the government. That's not us. But
True.
yeah, I got nothing to bitch about, man. Everything's all good.
Well, that's sometimes no news is good news. I got a couple of check-ins for you. So, earlier this year, we had announced there was a documentary being filmed alongside of my return
Yes.
to the ring. We launched a miserably failed Kickstarter. So, if you want an experience in how to really humble yourself in terms of what the world really thinks of you, go ahead and start a Kickstarter to make a documentary about yourself. You will quickly find out how little you are in such the great big vast sea of life. But it was a very humbling experience. But it wasn't. Unfortunately, I do believe that the Kickstarter would have helped, but the documentary itself, the entire project has collapsed right before my eyes. There were a lot of hands, with a lot of moving parts involved in this whole thing, and frankly, my opinion is that there's too many cooks in the kitchen scenario, and away we go. I have been Randy and I just did our first trial of Instagram Live to a smattering of applause in some ways, but I think that we learned something tonight was that the football team that I coach is very, very excited about our last game coming up.
Good for them.
5 years I've been coaching these guys. This is it. This is it with us. And then they go on to high school and away they go. So hopefully
Yep.
we got him ready. But what I really, so the documentary collapsed. There's a lot of stuff going on. I started taking some public speaking classes on the site as well. And I've been training. And I've been training for my November 1st match. We've talked about it in depth several times.
Yep.
I told you a glimpse of it in the Instagram Live, and I'm just going to tell you about it now. So was able to go do some training last week with Caitlin Diamond. She is a former Ring of Honor competitor, and she is local to the Twin Cities. So got to work out with her for a little bit. Got all ready for my my contract signing for this match that I have coming up November 1st. And unfortunately, and I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious about this. So Aaron jumped me. I'm wrestling Aaron Corbin at November 1st. We're in the ring, and he and I are both sitting at a table in the ring, and we're going to sign the contract. He didn't want to sign it. I'm signing it. I'm telling him he needs to sign it. Well, dude, so then he beats me up, right? Hits me from behind, breaks the clipboard over my head, and starts just putting the boots to me, man. That I broke a rib. I had to go to urgent care. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And everything started to hurt really, really bad. It was getting worse. Even right now, man, if I cough or if I laugh or anything, it's incredibly painful. So I went to urgent care, and they take x-rays, and legit, the front of my rib cage is severely bruised. But I broke a rib on my back.
Jesus.
And I'm not saying just cracked a rib. I'm saying broke a rib, to the point where the doctor's yeah, November 1st probably isn't the best idea. But I'm telling you this, I don't want anybody to freak out, because the truth is that I broke a rib, and I went to the doctor and got it looked at, and they said November 1st isn't a great idea, but I'm going to do it anyway, man. I'm this far through the process of all of this. I can't not have the match now, rib or no rib. I just have to be cautious about it. I don't know, man. It's just one of those freak things, I guess. And
Yeah. That's one of those stupid things that why wouldn't it happen right now? Perfect timing.
That's what I'm saying. I can't even lift right now. I can't go to the gym. it's hard for me to do much. I'm living on, Tylenol extra strength and ibuprofen, man. Like it's painful. I don't know if you've ever bruised a rib is painful, but
I've
man,
cracked
it's
some.
like laying down right now is the worst.
Yeah.
And it just sucks all the energy out of you. It's horrible.
Yep.
So thanks, Aaron. Thank you for that. I'll send you the bill because that's going to be awesome.
Not so amazing red.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, that's what I'm dealing with. We're in the we're in the final stretch here of this match finally going to be able to happen. So,
Couple weeks, man.
know,
Really.
I know that's
Like
where we're at,
you
about 2.5 weeks
couple
from right
weeks
this second.
out.
Yep. And I just the fact of the matter is, since we started doing this podcast, like we've been really honest about everything. So that's
Hey,
where I'm really at. Like I'm suffering through this weird injury that of course it happened, and it all kind of happened at once, man. The documentary fell apart. I broke my rib. But I will tell you, last couple of weeks I've been a part of 3 wrestling shows in the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, there was another one I was supposed to be a part of here in a couple of weeks that not in a couple of weeks, the next week actually, that they had to cancel that show.
oh,
Yeah, the November 1st show is still happening. And I just did 3 shows. I was just a guest kind of hanging out at True North Wrestling about a week and a half ago. I got to train there that day, which was a lot of fun. And then I did 2 shows last weekend, the infamous Aaron rib breaking promo in Bloomington, Minnesota last Friday. And then the very next night, I got to go be a referee in a Texas bull rope match for Wrestle Verte in Hopkins, Minnesota. So that was a lot of fun. You were actually at the show when we declared that match was going to happen. So it's too
I
bad you couldn't
was.
make it. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, man, if you'd have needed me there, I'd have been there. I'd been there to watch your back. It didn't sound like you were gonna have any problems there, though. So
I didn't have any problems. In fact, I had a lot of fun. There's a video floating around of me, getting my dance on, if you will.
Duncing.
Duncing. Somebody said it was a little bit like Dusty Rhodes. And I'm going to tell you the truth about it. It's a mixture of these couple of things. The very first magic ingredient that's involved in my dancing ability is the fact that I don't have a dancing ability whatsoever.
White guy.
Oh yeah. Yep. They see that coming a mile away. So I got that going for me. And then you mix in Dusty Rhodes, Tracy Smothers, and a little bit of Akeem. And if you guys know who that is, are all wrestlers. And if you know who they are, bless your heart. But that's where I got my skills from, baby.
Should have had a little Michael Hayes too.
Yeah, I don't think I could pull that off. Just cause.
Well.
So anyway, that's where we're at. So that's really it. So we got everybody up to speed. Before we get into our main topic, I do want to be able to plug our Patreon. If you don't know about it already, you can join our exclusive Patreon page for as little as $1 a month. What does that get you? For $1 a month, you get all of our show notes for this exact show a few days before the podcast is released. So you'll be able to see what it is that we're going to be talking about, almost line by line. And you get exclusive access to our private Facebook group, which actually is turning out to be this awesome community. I'm actually really proud of it. To be able to see all of that, it's going along really, really well. So that's our $1 tier. For $3 a month, you get everything that I just said, and you get one extra bonus podcast episode per month that Randy and I record just for that month. He and I just dropped the October video about a week and a half ago. You're going to start seeing more and more about that if you haven't already on the social medias. But that was a fun episode, man, where Randy and I essentially brought to the table 5 horror movies that we think would go well with your Halloween watch-a-thon. He brought 5 to the table. I brought 5 different ones. We contrasted, we compared, and we each had to select one movie that each of us brought. I had to pick one out of Randy's pile. Randy had to pick one out of mine. And those were going to be the 2 movies we would ask you to add to your Halloween playlist this year. But in order to see that and the videos that we filmed before that, you have to go to patreon.com/wrestling with tomorrow and sign up for that $3 tier. I'm going to tell you right now, we appreciate everyone who goes on there and shows some patronage.
Yes.
And you will not be disappointed in those bonus episodes.
Yeah, they get pretty wild and crazy, and we're doing stuff that's not like this. Take a little break away from a lot of the seriousness, have some fun, because that's an important thing too in this life. Everything is so direly serious and upsetting all the time that it's necessary to unplug that crap for a while and toss it out the window and then talk about something else. This month, Halloween movies.
Halloween movies.
Hmm.
Have we declared what we're going to do for Thanksgiving? What our Thanksgiving, our November episode? Have we talked about that?
No, nope.
Hmm.
The last time we talked about it, we did our draft thing, and then we talked about the Halloween movie thing, and that's where we left it.
Oh man. So we could do so many things though,
Oh
right?
yeah,
We could
well, of
do we
course.
could talk about our favorite WWF Survivor Series film or a film. Our favorite
Our favorite film.
what the fuck? Our favorite WWF Survivor Series show. And notice I said WWF. Um, we could do favorite Thanksgiving foods. We could do kind of whatever we want. We have to figure that out.
Can we also
Do
do
you
a list of things that are the shits?
is your
Everybody does a top 10 list all the time, and that's great. But how about a top 10 list of the shits
like the worst
as well?
fucking possible Thanksgiving things ever?
Well, it can be some Survivor Series type things, or
What is that beeping? There's something beeping. Either the oven's done, it's your phone. Ooh, be a professional, Randy. Mute your phone, okay? Be a pro. Be a pro,
I
will you?
wasn't going to answer it until you said something.
Well, you know what? So what you're saying is we could just come up with a list of the things that are the absolute drizzling shits when it comes to the Thanksgiving holiday.
Oh, yeah, but we got to do both sides of the coin, though. We got to have the good stuff too.
Let's figure
So,
out how we'll lay that out. The good and the bad. How about Thanksgiving's the good, the bad, and the ugly? We'll each give you a list of things that we think fall into those categories, and then Randy and I will pick our favorites at the end. Sounds
yep.
pretty straightforward. Okay, good, bad, and the ugly. There's your categories. Figure it out. Food, traditions, whatever it is. I don't know though, dude. I'm going to tell you right now. I kind of low key love Thanksgiving. And I don't know if it's a food thing or if it's a football thing or if it's just like just a thing where like being around other people like in a setting where everybody's like striving to make one meal together, which is just wild if you think about it. In a lot of ways. Uh I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about Thanksgiving, but I dig it, man.
I think it's your last hurrah of the pumpkin spice shit for the year.
I have ingested far too much pumpkin spice today. All right, man.
Wait, hold on. To those who don't know, that guy is not only a connoisseur of pumpkin spice stuff, but almost a borderline addict. Just saying. That's
Yeah.
the quantity of stuff ingested. Me,
Dude,
maybe one or two things the whole season.
you liar, man. You fucking liar. Don't make me look like I'm the fucking cow because this is like the worst possible
Moo.
dude, this is the worst possible time for me to try to cut weight because of all the like fall goodies that are just like wisping around me. The Culver's cheese curd burger, the promo for that ends tomorrow, and I haven't had one this year, and I'm very upset about that. Just saying. And
Me,
that's a fall thing.
not a fuck was given.
Well, you know what? I wish you loved something as much as I loved Culver's, cheese curd burgers. But you know what, dude? I wish that love for you. I wish you could feel what that's like.
I could eat one with you, but I promise it'd be all over the floor in the restaurant before we left.
The arteries clog in mid bite. It is a glorious American right to eat that burger. And you know what, Randy? I have not ingested one for the sake of my waistline for my November 1st match. That is a true story. These are the stuff I put myself through to entertain the people. The people, Randy.
It's true. If you want me to entertain you, you just show up and I'm there and I'll give you a crisp high five and tell you some stupid shit and we'll laugh about it. Meanwhile, he doesn't get to eat a burger and shit. Like we can eat whatever the hell we want to do.
So R.I.P. Cheese Curd Burger. I wish we could have had something special this season 2025, but it
He's
just wasn't meant to
stepping
be.
out on you. He's stepping out
Just
on you.
I do love you. I want you to know that, and we will meet again. We will meet again. But aside from that, what the fuck
That,
is happening?
when you say we will meet again, we will meet again. I keep picturing like it's a double and then it's a triple.
Oh,
We'll meet
we will
again.
meet
We'll meet
again. Yeah.
again.
Just
And a couple curds
add more
and
toppings, more top,
y-
and a family size side of onion rings. Okay,
oh yeah, fupa size.
just I want all of it. And your phone is still not on silent. What is wrong with you? You're supposed to be a professional.
I'm paying attention to the podcast and trying to answer. You're busy adding meat and another one and another, and you're worried about a ding on the phone.
The people who are just listening to the audio of this are so concerned that they are running over. It sounds like when you go to get your oil changed, you run over the rope gimmick, and it's letting the attendant know you have backed up over and over again. And these people ain't coming to pump your gas. They ain't
It's an
coming to
air
change your
hose,
oil.
piss
You better
pants.
turn that goddamn thing on silent before I fucking have a goddamn fit.
Oh, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna have a goddamn fit. We're not even in the
Did
same
you just hear
building.
me? I'm already all worked up because I didn't get a cheese curd burger, and now you want to give me a hard time about your phone dings? Is that where we're at?
No, you're trying to give me a hard time about the phone dings, and I'm saying, let it go. It's okay.
Okay. All
It's
right.
okay.
All right, Elsa. Let's take it to the next one. We are 16 minutes into this, and we haven't even hit main topic number one. Topic number one yet.
You've been doing a lot of verbal jerking off. Is
I'm
basically the
hungry now. I need you have I have you to thank for that. There it is. All right, Randy. Main topic. I know we talked earlier about the documentary going by the wayside. Doesn't really change anything that's happening for the most part. Now you are unwrapping that burger right in the microphone, and things are going to get nastier. The
for those of you
audacity.
for those of you that can't see this, he's shaking his head so disapprovingly. And once again, not a fuck was given.
Oh, so the main topic today is when your dream hits the wall. And
Oh shit.
I know that we all have been there when you think you're trending in a direction and all of a sudden life gives you that 45-degree angle. How does it feel when any project, let alone a passion project, implodes? So let's start with your perspective, big guy. Like how to keep perspective when the business side kills the dream. Where do we go from there?
That's difficult to do. A lot of things rely so heavily on money that it's stopped how many dreams for people over the years, think about all the people that haven't got to do what they wanted to do simply because they couldn't afford to. I can't afford to go and train and do this because I have to be at work. I can't invest the time I want, because of that. Or simply I'm working on something and I run out of funding. You know, it depends on what you're doing. But when that happens, it's a real blow, and to get yourself back up and on the saddle again after it happens is very difficult. It's very easy to say, you know what, I tried, to hell with it, but you don't get very
But
far doing that.
I do think though that sometimes people can just use that kind of stuff. Money, for example, right? You brought that up. People might not be ready to actually like see their project through.
Yeah,
They don't really like finish what they start. Not and we all know somebody like that, right? And they never finish what they start. And then they can use excuses like this. Well, I didn't have the money to finish it or whatever it was, right? Like I get that side of it, but man, we use excuses sometimes. And I'm going to tell you
right.
this really, really quick story. I'm not sure if you even know it, but it was on the table at one point, even as casual as the conversation may have been. Aaron Corbin, myself, Shimdog, and one other person We were all, I don't know if they want me to say his name. Um, anyway, it was just like the Albert Lee guys, man. And we were kind of talking about like, this is after we had gone on and gotten trained and we started to get bookings and we started to like, go some places. And so anyway, we're traveling and we're thinking, okay, to be true journeymen in the world of professional wrestling, regionally, wrestling can vary on different things that they do, and the talent will vary. And the only way to
Yeah.
get exposure and to kind of break out of the norm was to travel as much as you could. So I tried to take bookings everywhere that I could so that I could kind of get out and do that. One thing that group and I had a conversation about, even if it was one time, Aaron and I have subsequently talked about it several times after this, and about how we would like it. What if we would have done it? We all, we sat and had a conversation like, what if we just moved out to Philadelphia and started, this is after we'd been trained, but we're going to go to a school. We're going to start working out with them. We're going to break into the Philadelphia area and start working in East Coast style. And we'll get that under our belt for X amount of time. And then we'll go to another region and another region and just kind of keep doing that together. It would have been great if, the lot of us would have actually like cooperated and we would have been one of the first wrestling groups in the world to ever done that. There's actually this really cool like group of friends in Texas. They were all just like a bunch of buddies and they were like, hey, let's all go get different, like we're going to go get the same job. We're going to go to these famous like barbecue joints in Texas. We're all going to go learn from there. We're all going to live together. And so we're going to come back home. We're going to exchange notes. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that. Then they go and they open up a restaurant. It ends up being the top barbecue joint in all of Texas because they understood they needed to kind of branch out and go and learn different styles and kind of bring everything together and make it their own. That is one of those things, from a wrestling perspective, had we done that, who knows what would have happened to all of us, right? It's never been done. It's never been tested. My point is we made excuses to not do it. We had all the excuses in
Sure.
the world not to do it. So we kind of got in our own way on that one, like we said it was a dream, but was it, or to what extent, and there's some of that in there as well. So I guess long story longer is you just have to understand if there are constraints on whatever it is that you're working on, were they put there by you or are they actual constraints?
Oh yeah. It's easy to come up with an excuse to not finish because it's hard or it's frustrating or whatever. And it's just
Yeah.
easier to say, well, I just couldn't, you know. But that
Yep.
depends, on here. What are you truly wanting to do? What's really in your heart? How much do you really want it, or is it something that would be really cool and it's just a dream that is just that? It's not a dream that you want to pursue.
Yeah. I'm a like, and I try to instill it into my kids and everything too, man. You got to finish everything you start, but sometimes you just can't. Like they're just whatever, something falls off. The idea though is to be able to, pivot quickly and go on to the next thing. And pivot, the word pivot itself is this like huge buzzword right now. Because it's so people are just, in the last couple of years talking about being able to make adjustments quickly is essentially what they're talking about when it comes to pivoting. If this direction of life doesn't work out the way you intended, how do you change gears and go the other direction? Now, in the early episodes of this podcast, we were talking about those exact things. Plan A doesn't work out. Nobody ever gets you prepared for plan B. What does that do to the human psyche as you're having to let go of one identity and move on to the second one, whatever it is? Path A didn't work. Now you got to try path B with a whole different mindset. And that mindset is what I was trying to capture in the first couple of episodes of this podcast. Hopefully it came through, but and you got some perspective in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They do talk a lot about pivoting and being able to adapt. And, thinking back to other jobs that I've had and training sessions and stuff, it didn't seem like that was the thing. It seemed like learn your job, learn it well. But
Yeah.
inevitably, times changes things no matter what it is. Technology changes, so the punch press that you were operating is now not the thing anymore, and there's a new way to do it digitally, or any number of things where jobs are phased out. What do you
Yeah.
do? Because you might have been damn good at your job, and you might have done it for a long time. But let's say you still got 20 years to go till retirement, and all of a sudden it's not really a thing anymore. What do you do? How do you move forward? How do you keep on doing what you're doing? Learning the thing to keep doing what you're doing at a high level. That can be very, very tough for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think, this is going to sound like a cliche, but like failure itself doesn't define you. The recovery does. So, and that's so applicable to so many different things, like trying not to let anything really define you, especially failure. People
Yeah.
are watching you. People want to see you succeed. People want to see you bounce back. Not everybody does, though. You got to be honest with yourself on that one too. Some people want to see you fail, and we don't always
Pe-
talk about that either. But
People
that's true.
thrive on watching other people suffer,
Yeah.
and for whatever reason, that they're miserable, they're sad, something's not working. They lost their job, they whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is, but I think we're all inside, whether we mean to or not. We're all very, very selfish. Not like, hey, I want to have all the cookies. That's not what I'm talking about. But you want things done your way. You want to be the one that gets the promotion. You know, to be able to say, hey, my buddy and I work this job. We're both good. He got it. I'm happy. I'm so happy for him to do better for himself, for his family, instead of how come I didn't get it. You know, to show some sympathy for other people, that's a huge thing because people don't. Even just simply things like, hey, I made that mistake and I'm so sorry. I should have never done that. I should never said that. Or thank you. You know, people can't
Yeah.
do that. You got to be able to accept the fact that you're not bulletproof and you're not perfect. You're not. You never will be. You know, but really, we're not meant to be. Human beings are kind of a herd animal, man. Like we all got something that we do better than others, and that's why together we can make this all work. You know, or politically, let's say, well, not a lot of people are interested in looking at that stuff. They want to do something else that they can do, like fix a car or whatever it is. People don't have interest in the other things. So we as people, all we can do is our best. And when you do fail at something, it's really not failing. You take that loss and then you figure out how to move forward. Whether it's something that you can adapt and do something different, or you can relearn what you're doing and do it the same way correctly, or maybe I just not interested in that anymore, and that showed me that, so now I can turn and focus on this other thing that I wasn't so sure about, but now I'm more interested
Man, I'm still thinking about the cookies you brought up earlier.
in. I said I said sugar cookies though, not pumpkin spice.
Ooh, yeah.
Gotta have beef. Gotta have spice. Need a little excitement. That was the shits.
Oh, yes. So anyway,
Oh yes. That was better. It was
it
still the
was
shits.
something.
It was
It was
still the
something.
shits. But
All right, so I do want to talk about. We're going to shift gears a little bit into the next section of the pod. I do think that the symbolism of me breaking my ribs prior to this match that I have been training for literally a freaking year, man. the symbolism of how, in some ways, that we all kind of wrestle hurt, whether it's in real life, whether it's in the ring, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We're all kind of doing that, So I was trying to think of any other situation for myself, or maybe you have one. I guess wrestling or life, where you showed up broken but still had to perform. The main one, I've got one, but you can certainly let me know if you do, man.
We all do, I think. Think about the stuff you fight yourself with in your head, doubt and you know, sadness for whatever reason something happens. It takes your attention away from what you're trying to do and you're not really doing it the best that you could. Makes you lack your focus and stuff. I think all of us are doing that shit every day to a different degree. Some people maybe are depressed. Some people were fine their whole life. Got hit by a car last week and now they're in a wheelchair the rest of their life. And they got to figure out how to redo everything over again. And that, hey, I'm just hungry. I would go out and get in the car, drive down to the restaurant, have something to eat. That's all done. You can't do anything like that anymore. You have to have help. Adapting to that change. Driving people to appointments like I do. And for people that don't know, I'm a non-emergency medical driver when we're not doing this thing. And what that means is I can take people that are ambulatory, or I can take them that are non, which are not able to walk, not able to stand, so they're generally in a wheelchair. I take them to therapy, meaning somebody just got hurt and they got to go to a home because their family cannot help them recuperate. They have to go and concentrate on that. Or people that have just gotten older and just can't simply do all the things anymore. But it's not only that. You take people that have gotten into drugs and alcohol, and I've driven people to the methadone clinic sometimes. I've driven different people to treatment because they are trying to put their foot down and say, "Damn it, that's enough," and I have to stop this now because things are going to get real bad real quick. If I don't, it has to happen. So I do all of these things. I also take people in to get take them to Mayo Clinic or something to have a procedure done or something. And maybe they're getting a biopsy because suddenly they might have cancer cells. And anytime you drop that C, that cancer word, that's bad. That never good. Never, never, never. So to think you're fine one day and go in and just have a checkup and something's not right, and then to find out, oh, you might have cancer cells. And so in 6 weeks, we'll get you in to take a biopsy. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I am supposed to wonder about this for 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Until I get in and they do the thing, and then I still have to wait a little longer to get the results? But it might be one of the greatest killers of people in history, aside from war and like shit like that. But disease wise, generally, a lot of times if you get cancer, it don't turn out real well. Yes, there are a lot of people that have fought it and survived and have done that, and that's awesome. But it's certainly the exception to the rule when you look at the total of all time. So that's dealing with all of those things. There's a lot of times where I come back and I drop my van off, turn in my paperwork, and I come home. And on the way home, I'm thinking, damn, I don't have a damn thing to bitch about.
Yeah, dude.
Not a damn thing. Nothing. Like, oh, so I don't have as much money in the bank account as I'd like. Boo fucking who? I'm not blind. I'm not a drug addict trying to stop, and I've lost my family because I can't. I'm not somebody that got that cancer scare, and then they get the thing and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's stage 4 cancer. You got about 6 months." What? How do you wrap your head around that? You know? So I know we kind of went out on a limb here, and then I'll reel it back in because we're talking about all these things that are in our heads at all times. Here's a good example, too, dude. You lost your dad when you were younger. When that happened, how difficult was it for you to go to school and concentrate on that? And I know, like, you were concerned about your sister because you guys are pretty close, that way. And your whole family dynamic changed forever with that. I still have both my folks. I can imagine it'd be horrible, but I don't know because I've never went through it myself. But I can't imagine that it was easy for you. How could it be? You know? And that's
Yeah, I look back at that time, when my dad, so if you don't know the story, please go watch my TED Talk. It's 12 minutes
yes,
long, and
it's good.
that'll give you the background on my dad. But the really fast version is that I have one sibling. She is 5 years younger than me. I was 19 when my dad died in his sleep. He was 44 years old. As I'm telling you this story, I am 43 years old. And so it freaks me out as I approach 44, man. Next year's going to be wild. But
Right.
I remember that day so clearly. And I knew sitting in my living room with the first responders in my dad's bedroom, I could hear them with the paddles on his chest yelling, "Clear, clear," and I'm just sitting there listening to that. And then to still be sitting there in the room, listening to the sound of this heavy duty zipper zipping, and
Mm,
then them bringing him out through the living room where I was sitting on a gurney in a black bag, and watching them carry him out the front door. It all seemed it seemed like a movie, like you were watching it, like it was a movie.
right.
It was just me and my little sister, and we're just sitting there. My mom was out of town on business, so we were just trying to manage while somebody got word to her. And this is like pre like common cell phone era, so it was kind of hard back then even to get messages to people sometimes. But I just remember thinking in that exact moment, Gurney's out the front door, thinking everything is going to change.
Right.
Nothing. The life that I remember having is gone. And that
Yep.
moment itself, that moment is such a helpless moment because you don't it's like that fear of the unknown. It's
Right.
losing somebody is hard enough. Trying to figure out what life looks like without them is is impossible to do in those early moments. That's why grieving takes so long, is because
Yep.
your brain is just trying to process the world and through a different lens, and so it just sometimes takes a long time for it to go and focus for you. And I think after losing my dad at a young age, unexpectedly, complete. I mean,
Right.
we didn't. It was fine. We had just seen him. Um, I it's hard to say how things would be if he was still alive. Um, but like this whole section of this podcast is talking about like where you had to show up broken for something and you still performed. I think specifically about his funeral.
Mm,
And I've always been pretty decent with public speaking, and so if anybody was going to stand up there and talk about my dad at his funeral, then by God, it was going to be me. And I I didn't prepare anything. I mean, I kind of did. Um, and I remember going up in front of the funeral home and looking out on this, sea of people who would come to pay their respects to my family. Um, I ended up in that moment just thinking like I'm just gonna just say whatever comes to mind. Like there's nothing that I can't say right now. And it was tough, but I'm like tearing up and trying not to cry, and that made other people cry. And I was trying to be
well, of
strong. And
course.
it was just such a whole thing. But like, showing up from a broken perspective, I've never been that broken since that day. Like that was the most broken I've ever been, and I've been through some shit, pal. And that day
Hmm.
was that was the hardest day of my life, and I still performed. And some of that is grit, some of that is determination, and some of that is being too stupid to realize what's actually going on around you in the moment, or oblivious enough to care.
Yeah,
Um,
it's kind of what the recipe called for at the time.
yeah,
You know, suddenly the fear of the unknown, the fear is gone. The unknown is right here, right now.
yeah,
Ready or
without a
not,
doubt.
here we come. Yeah. Well, I
You were right.
appreciate you sharing that, man, because it's got to be
Yeah,
tough. It's got to be tough, and it's been a while, but to still talk about that kind of thing, and
yeah.
there's got to be times where it's real tough. You get to thinking about it.
It's it's one of those things where like my kids, my daughter's a senior. I wish she could have met. Yeah, I wish she could have met my
Yes,
dad. And
they loved him,
um,
dude.
he would have like, by now he would have been retired. I know he would have been around at every game that he could go to watch the kids and support them.
Yep.
Dude, my dad used to show up to my football practices to watch me when I was like, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. He would just like sit in his car and like watch the practices. It was almost daily, man. He
It
was just
was
always
important for
there.
him. It was
It
important for
was.
him.
And that's how I know he would have shown up for my kids. And I don't think anybody could ever say that that's not true about who he was and what he would have done. And I'm also very lucky. I think about this in a lot of ways as well. This actually brings me a lot of peace, is that my wife and I have been together so long, as you know. We've been together so long. She was around my dad for a full year before he died. So she not just like met him once or twice, like she knew him. She was around him quite a bit. So, to me, that's very important. Is like when I tell stories, if I tell stories or if I bring them up, she has firsthand experience in having known who he really was. So
Mm.
anyway, yeah. So there you go. I don't know if I answered your question.
No, but the point I was getting at is, look at that big punch in the gut that randomly happened one day
Yeah.
versus any other day.
Just
And
a random day.
all of
Yeah.
a sudden, everything different. And now you got to figure out how to go forward in a different life. It's
Yeah.
not just like it was.
Yeah. For sure. So, I think it's also going to be important for us to talk about allowing your not just allowing yourself to grieve. I think grieving is important, but man, you
Yes.
need to be able to actually like to grieve. You need to be able to grieve any goals that you fail. Because for me, when I think about a goal, man, like I am not. I think I've talked about this before. I am not one of those people who's into New Year's resolutions because I think they're bullshit. And a goal to me is something with a strategic plan attached to it and accountability. And if you're not actually looking at it in that way, if you don't have next steps planned on how to move that goal forward, then it's nothing more than a wish and a dream. It's not actually a goal. Goals are something people, in my opinion, are people are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it. And if it still fails, that's the grieving process I'm talking about here.
Right. Yeah.
And the documentary is going to be like that. I hope my wrestling comeback isn't like that. That would be terrible. But my first run at wrestling, I didn't hit my goals. One of my goals was right in my hands. It was handed to me. Well, it wasn't handed to me. I earned it, but I had it, and I messed it up on my own, and I never got it back. Luckily, it was within my
Yeah.
last year of wrestling, but huge regret of mine. So again, are you taking time to grieve any of your failed goals?
Right. And too, like I look at what you guys did in the ring and the longer run and more areas and more learning and more. I look at it so much differently than you do because I'm not you. And I think that is awesome. Look how many states you went to, you met some some pretty big guys. You got to train with Harley Race. Look at those things that a zillion people never get the chance to do, but you got to,
Yeah.
So yes, you didn't capitalize on that thing that you're talking about there and do that. But there was a hell of a lot of success too. I wouldn't say it was a failure. That one aspect at the end, that regret, yes. But there was a hell of a lot of success for you guys out there.
Yeah.
There was.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, sometimes when you're the guy, it's hard to remember that because we're so focused on all the stuff like, man, God damn it, I wish I'd have done that.
Yeah, that's true.
I should have done that. And you don't look back and say, wait a minute though, like you got to train with Harley Race, dude, one of the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely a fucking tough guy.
Yeah.
And a good guy.
Yep.
And you got to spend some time with that guy.
Yeah.
And like me, I've got something that you never got to. In my little piddly wrestling career, Grizz and I got to do mic work with Mean Gene.
That's true. I
That's
didn't get to do that.
Fucking dream come true.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are we? And we got to get in with Mean Gene, the guy that interviewed Hogan, and all of these things over the years. He was the guy.
Yep.
And we got to spend 2 minutes with that guy in the ring.
That's amazing.
I'll never forget that in my life. I'm so thankful that happened, and I was so sad when he died.
Yeah.
But
that's special.
That's something that I don't remember all the time. I think, God damn, I wonder what I could have done if I would have kept wrestling, or what could I have done if I could have had a company and got it bigger and stuff. And it didn't happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with it. But there's still times where I think, what if I would have, what if? And I think we're all guilty of that,
100%. I think people who aren't even involved in pro wrestling, or everybody who's listening to this, is dealing with that from time to time. The woulda, shoulda, coulda, if then, maybe, didn't happen to me, but coulda, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But I don't know if I've told you this ever, but I'm sure that I told you I started watching wrestling with my grandfather.
Yes, sir.
My mom's dad. And he lived 4 hours away, so I didn't get to see him that often. But when I did, Christmas, Thanksgiving, once in a while I talked to him on the phone. He'd tell me, hey, do you see what old Ric Flair did to Sting, the Horseman? You see what Terry Funk did? Yeah, Grandpa, I did. Yeah, I did. And that right there made me want to be a wrestler. It's the only thing I ever wanted to do in my life when I was that young. And I fucking did it.
Mm-hmm.
To some degree. Was I ever on WWE? No. But I did it. And I know damn well that he would have been so proud if he got to see me just once. And that's like your dad now. He would be so proud of us doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I know he would.
Yeah.
Because in my experience, that's the guy he was when we had the AWO going. And all the guys were almost like his kids.
Yeah.
Like the football team, maybe, huh?
You're right.
He really was. Yeah, I don't have anything. I've never ever saw your dad in a bad light, not once.
Yeah.
And I know he'd be so proud of the boys and your daughter, and like I said, us now and what we're trying to do. He was that guy, and he had that gift that he could do that. It wasn't always about, well, I got to go to the factory and I didn't get a raise and shit. No, he was thinking about others. And that's a rare gift because he did it a lot. It wasn't a one-off here and there. It was every time I saw the guy, so for what that's worth,
No, I appreciate you saying that. A little memorial for my dad. I always appreciate that. I do want to say though, when it comes to, letting stuff go, there's a huge difference between quitting and like resetting.
Yeah.
So and specifically, I want to talk about this documentary again. I think that there's been a lot of distractions in front of me this entire year, and I have been guilty of not always looking at the right things personally, professionally, um, and the whole this Gator McGraw character as well. Like all of that kind of wrapped up into everything I'm saying here. So, um, I've been guilty of being distracted. We all go through that,
You're damn
and
right we do.
sometimes we don't all realize it either. So in this interpretation of what I'm doing, I take a look at this documentary. I miserably failed at the Kickstarter. I've broken a couple of ribs along the process of this comeback to wrestling. I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning a lot about recovery. I think though that it's just time to reset and focus on some of the things that I should be focusing on: my health, my
Yeah,
family, my
sure.
my match, my what are my plans for after the match. I've got all this merchandise and stuff that's about to come in. There is one thing though. So when we talk about resetting, not everybody knows this, but I'm going to be going back into the public speaking world and taking, you know, going back to schools and speaking in front of large audiences and doing all of that. That's I'm working kind of on the side with the National Speaker Association to make sure some things happen for me in 2026. One of the things that fell into my lap over the last couple of weeks, and I don't think I even told you, and so this is part of that, like um this reset. So I'm already thinking like speaking, right? Professional speaking, paid speaking.
Yeah.
um I got an opportunity to do a professional wrestling seminar. Now I know what you're saying. So immediately right out of the gate, I tell the person who asked me if I ever do seminars, I said, look, I am not the most technically sound professional wrestler. That is not where my gifts lie. So if you are looking for somebody to teach you the inside um, physicality of the ring, not only am I not qualified to do it, I am frankly not physically capable of doing it. I don't want to do it.
He
And they
probably
said, well,
won't show you the Maestro cradle.
that. And he said to me, he said, that's fine. We don't want you to train on that. And I said, well, what did you want me to train on? He said, self-confidence and sales and marketing of our characters. And I went,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
holy
never
crap.
talked about. It's always in the ring and mechanics and selling and those things. It's never about like the other.
Anybody who ever knew me in my past wrestling life will tell you exactly what I'm about to say. Maybe Gator wasn't the most technically sound wrestler in the world, but he understood how to get himself over, and he also understood the marketing side of the wrestling business. And so that is what got me booked a lot of places. It didn't have a whole lot to do with my talent. It had everything to do with I understood what who my audiences were and how to play to them. And
Mhm.
so I think that now, having, been a professional wrestler for 10 years, and then after that, I have almost 20 years in corporate sales and marketing leadership, and specifically Fortune 50 sales training leadership. So I think that if I'm looking at this correctly, I'm going to take my sales and marketing pedigree, and I'm going to marry it with my pro wrestling background, and I'm going to teach seminars on, at different shows and stuff, like for an hour. Like, here, we're going to sit down, we're going to give you the notes. Here's how you market your character. Here's what promoters are looking for. Here's how to set yourself apart in your current market. All of those things, right? Who are your competitors? Who are you trying to sell to? Who are your customers? All of that stuff I want to be able to cover. And nobody's ever done anything like that to my knowledge.
No, I don't think so. Not that I know of.
No,
That's never the thing though, It seems like when guys get in the ring, they want to learn how to get better. They want to
I get
train.
that.
They want to do that. They don't even think about the other stuff.
I know, but the wrestlers need to be treating themselves like small businesses.
Sure.
They're a marketing. Their character they have created in professional wrestling is a marketing tool for the next thing. So it's
Sure.
figuring out what does that look like? How do you create lead funnels? All of that stuff. And I really think we're going to give this a shot next year. More to come on that. I believe my first seminar for you to pay for will be, and I'm not sure, probably like $30 a person to do it for an hour, and I'm pretty sure it's happening in March of 2026. So more to come on that. I need to figure it out.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah,
I think there's valuable information, if nothing else.
that is true. But
Absolutely.
I'm always looking for what's next. There always has to be a rebuild involved. What can you control? All right. So let's talk about that real quick, Randy. I think it's going to be important to just do some short reflections on some of the things that you can control. So think about I'm gonna do the same thing, and for you audience folks out there, you be doing this on your own as well. Start thinking about the heaviest things that are happening to you in your life right now, the good and the bad. Okay, hopefully more good than bad, but think about those things. Pick one of them, and now go. Okay, what am I most worried about in this situation? Do I have anything to worry about? And if I do, what can I control to make it better? Now, this is all rhetorical, right? In a lot of ways, and Randy, you're more than welcome to share. But I want everybody to be thinking about that. You need to control what you can control.
Right. That's a great first step at any of that stuff. Like, figure out what's wrong. What can you do? What can you do? What's the stuff that you really can't do anything about? You know, figure that out. And then square one, start working on it and get it figured out. You know, it's easy to just shrug it off and the problem comes back a week later and a month later, and pretty soon it's years that you've had this on your mind and you still got it on your mind. And why? What do you want to carry that with you for? You
That
know,
is true. Yeah.
and to me, it's a different thing, but it's like those people that want to be pissed every day. Why? How do you have the fucking energy to do that shit every fucking day?
I have family members like that, bro. Legitimately, like that
I
I've
I,
that
I
I've been
come from
estranged
the
from for years, but they're still nasty, nasty tempered people.
yeah. For what? It doesn't do any fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm from the thing like, hey, let's have a few laughs, and we go home to our families. And you know what? We're gonna wake up again tomorrow. And the things that were shitty, they're still gonna be shitty. But it don't mean you have to live that way all the time. Let
They're gonna
that
be over
shit
here like
go.
did you see Randy not look at me? He looked mean, and then he ate like 6 more chips than everybody else too. And then that stuff alone right there, my man, like that would be enough to set these people over the edge.
You
Randy ate
gotta
6 chips.
when people are petty like that, I like to go as far over the line as possible. Like, not only did I have 6 more chips than you, I also fucked your mother. Because people get really tuned up. It don't make a damn bit of difference if it's true or not.
Well, these
It's like,
particular people are cowards and they would never fight you, and they've gotten away with bullying their entire lives, but I digress.
well, there you go. But there's just some things that it doesn't matter if it's true or not. People react the same way. Like if I go, oh, I swallowed a booger. Everybody's like, oh, fuck. It
Oh,
doesn't
I know.
matter if I
I
really
have
did
it,
it or
man.
not.
It's
It
still
don't make
nasty. You're
yeah,
nasty.
it don't make no difference if I really did it or not. But people react that way, and you want to give them something to worry about. If you're worried about 6 chips, I'll buy you a fucking bag of chips. I'll help you stick them up your ass too. If you're worried about 6 chips,
6 chips. And there we have it. Randy, let's pay some bills. You ready for this? All these
I don't
listeners.
like paying bills. I'd rather not.
First of all,
I
yeah,
do it like fishing, dude. I throw them back.
you just give them. You know
Put
what?
them
I've
back
had
in
enough.
there. Put the fucking flag up on the mailbox. Fuck them.
I mean, what are you going to do, right? No,
Nobody
I do.
got
I
any
want to.
goddamn money. What are they gonna do?
Speaking of money. If you haven't figured this out already, we've been trying to squeeze $1 or $3 out of you for that Patreon feed. We're working real hard on it. If you want an extra episode of this ridiculous nonsense every single month, it's going to cost you $3 a month on Patreon. If you want our show notes and
Those
also
are our best
access,
apps.
and also
Not
access
necessarily, but
into our private Facebook group, then that is $1 a month, and we would love any kind of help whatsoever to kind of pay for this platform, pay for all kinds of stuff for now. But we enjoy doing this for you guys, and we are so happy that you are following along. Wherever you are listening right now, please subscribe to us. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe there. We're over on
Yep.
YouTube at Kenny Confidence. I think it is, if you can get in there wherever you listen to us and leave a review, please leave a 5-star review. That will help us out immensely when it comes to being able to be searched and found. You can also find the podcast itself over at wwt.pod on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok at Wrestling with Tomorrow.
I find it on
And
TikTok.
very soon we will be on Whatnot as well. We'll be talking about that in the future at WWT Pod. And if you're interested in any booking me for future events, speaking events, whatever it is, you can find all that information over at kennyconfidence.com. And also I'm on the Instagram at Gator McGraw, MAGRAW. Randy, where can they find you?
They find me right here with you. What are you talking about?
But if they want to search you on the Instagrams, where are they going to find you?
Why in the hell would you want to search me? Well,
search me.
If you're fucked in the head and you want to search for me, and that's perfectly cool. You can find me at Instagram at Randy_Herrig. I can't do it.
Do it.
At Wrestling W Tomorrow. the longest, girthiest handle on the platform. And that's why I don't have the blue check, because them sons of bitches are so jealous.
Bro, you're getting some followers, man. That's pretty cool. I'm looking at your profile. You're growing. Your big boy's growing.
I don't want to grow anymore. Hey, I have a great idea, though. You know those cameos that you can get people to do? Like, hey, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin and happy birthday. If you want me to call and ridicule your boss or somebody that's suffered from fuckface-itis for years, I'll be glad. I'll be glad to do it. You will enjoy it. I will enjoy it. And they probably won't. So I'm here for you.
You've heard it here first. Randy is going to do that for free.
I mean, I can start that way, but then if the demand comes up, then we got to raise the price. That's how everything goes.
If there's a demand for it, you got to answer the people, man. Maybe that's what they get. Maybe there's a different tier on Patreon. For $5, then you get everything we mentioned. Plus, Randy will call one person that you decide and just chew their fucking ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It doesn't matter. It can be something from way before that's years old that still bothers you. I'll help you put that shit to bed. It can be the bully that you dealt with in high school that you never got back at. I'll give them the verbal fucking shit in their mouth.
I promise that if people start asking for this, we will make it the $5 tier. And you're going to have to do it.
I'll fucking do it. You know damn well I'll do it.
That's what frightens me about this.
The funny thing is, too, once you get far enough in life and you graduate, and it doesn't matter if you're popular anymore, either you love me or you don't. If you do, you're a follower. If not, you should become one. But, if you don't, move along. But
speaking of moving along,
I will talk shit like a champion.
Well,
I will do it for you. I will.
You are a speaker of the people, Randy. That's what we have determined here today.
I don't know if I'm a hell of a speaker, but I'm a cusser like a champion.
You do. You're pro level cusser. As one pro level cusser to another, I know when I see talent.
Well, yeah, and see, you can't just know all the words.
Right.
Everybody can say you're an asshole. You're a dumb shit. You fuck you.
Adjective, verb, and noun. If you can get those, if you can fit those into one sentence, you're classic solid gold, my friend.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. See, I don't know if I should give away any free ones. I just don't know.
Here, I'll fucking punch that fucker in the fucking face. There you go. Noun,
No,
verb,
that's
adjective.
that's the shits. You say,
Whoa.
if you don't stop right now, I'm gonna ball up my fist and I'm gonna punch you in the fucking cocksucker. See, that insinuates another thing, also threatening to punch somebody.
Randy, I can't even. I told you my ribs are all banged up, man. I'm sitting here trying not to laugh. And now you got to say, I don't even know what you just said, man, but I know I can't repeat it.
I'll ball up my fist.
No,
If you don't stop, I'll ball up my fist and I will punch you in the cocksucker.
I don't want you to say it anymore.
Well, you said
Oh,
you couldn't say it. I thought maybe
no,
I'd
I
repeat
mean,
it so that
it's
way.
not that I couldn't say it. It's just like I can't say that, man. It's wild.
Why not?
Well, multiple reasons, but mainly
Isn't
right
there
now my ribs
anybody
are.
you would like to have said that to?
Yeah, there's probably about 9 or 10 people I would have loved to have said that to.
Yes.
I'd probably
We
actually said it
all
to 6 or 7 of them.
We all have. But that's a thing too. This doesn't have jack shit to do with anything. This is like something you
This is like fit right in.
This is something that you'd find on our other stuff on Patreon. You know, it's so fun to irritate somebody that's just a fucker. Just get under their fucking skin. You know, it's so satisfying. Like, you've been a dick to everybody for 20 years. So now I'm going to tell you that, well, we fill in the blanks. I don't want to hurt your ribs anymore, dude. You got that match.
I do. And you just don't care. You just keep making me laugh.
It's all right. It's a fucking gift.
I know. Yeah, it's something. All right, man. I think we've overstayed our welcome. Episode 15. Can you believe it? We say that every episode as if there's not going to be another episode. But I will say
another one.
There will be another one. I might be limping into the final bell, but I'm still going to answer it. How's that for cheesy? That's the cheesy send-off line.
Ding, ding, motherfucker.